Hello guys, this is the Gaming Revolution here, and we finally have all of the details on what is coming to Vanguard Zombies in Season 2. So Season 2 is going to be going live next Monday on the 14th of February. But we do have some times on when the updates are actually going to be going live. So the update for Vanguard is going to be going live this Thursday on February the 10th at 9 AM Pacific time, which is 12 PM Eastern time, which is 5 PM UK time. I don't believe Season 2 will actually be going live once the update goes live. All of the content will be added in the files of the game, but I don't think the content itself will be playable. Of course, this will probably result in a bunch of leaks and being able to access some of the content early. The Warzone update will be going live on February the 14th at 9 AM Pacific time, which is 12 PM Eastern time, which is 5 PM UK time, and Season 2 officially begins on February the 14th at 9 AM Pacific time, which is 12 PM Eastern time. Of course, I will be covering anything interesting in the update here on the channel when it actually releases. This video is just going to be focusing on all of the stuff coming to zombies, because Treyarch are really delivering with zombies this time. At the same time though, I do think we are slightly deceived with a couple things, and that's what I want to talk about in this video. On screen right now you can see the full Season 2 roadmap if you want to learn everything coming in the update for both Warzone and multiplayer, because this video is mainly going to be focusing on zombies. I will leave a link to Call of Duty's blog down in this video's description if you want to learn even more specific details, since I kind of just brushed over the roadmap. So finally, let's get into the most interesting thing, all of the content coming to zombies, and this looks pretty juicy. So we're getting a brand new zombies map. This is DLC 1, and it is in fact going to be releasing when Season 2 drops. I was wondering whether it may come later on in season, but this new map is called Terra Maledicta, and that is Latin, but when you translate it to English, it means cursed land. So people seem quite confused on how this new map is going to work. So Anfang was only the beginning. As the undead army prepares to invade a new front, Craft and company take the fight to Von List in this new zombies experience set in Egypt's eastern desert and abroad. This map is going to work just like Anfang, unfortunately, where you have the main central hub where the perks, pack-a-punch, mystery box, covenants, etc. are located, but this time instead of Stalingrad it's going to be in Egypt. And I believe it is actually the multiplayer map Desert Siege. So Cortex and Von List have ventured off to Egypt because they found something in the Tomb of Rituals that could potentially jeopardize and pose a threat to them. So we have actually followed them to join them in Egypt, because Vakana the Last opened up a portal in Stalingrad and that allowed us to cross through to the desert. So on this new map, gateways to new arenas will open, including the Dark Aether itself in an entirely new location for Vanguard Zombies. Professor Craft and his Special Forces fighters have established a beachhead in the fight against Von List, where they will risk everything to obtain a lost page from the Tomb of Rituals. So that's going to be the main premise for this map. The Special Forces team are going to be trying to obtain this page, which will give us information that will help us in defeating Cortex. The new arenas that are going to be on this map are going to be the objective locations. Just like on Anfang, we have the Corrupted Lands, which is set in the Dark Aether itself, but it looks way creepier than in Cold War Zombies. As you can see, it's all red and hellish, and there's a bunch of red Ethereum crystals. Of course, we know that Zykov managed to consume all of the old ones, and he was the reason for the Dark Aether turning purple and oceanic like in Cold War Zombies. I cannot wait to explore this new area in the Dark Aether. This is actually the first area in Vanguard Zombies that is totally brand new. On Anfang, it's just comprised of multiplayer and campaign locations, as well as Shinonuma. We've seen all of those locations before. That's going to be one of the objective locations. The next objective location is located in the eastern desert. Specifically, it's the multiplayer map Oasis, which is set in Libya, North Africa. It's a pretty beautiful map if you played multiplayer, and I think it will work well in zombies. And the third objective location is Hall of Truth. We will get to these locations by just taking portals from the central hub in Egypt. It is really disappointing that this map is just like Anfang. It's not a round-based map, unfortunately. I do wonder whether they are going to add a void objective, just like on Anfang though, within Shinonuma, so that we can play round-based on this new map as well. Furthermore, in Season 2, we are introduced to two new Dark Aether entities, as they continue a supernatural war through the mortal world as a new ally appears and a powerful enemy makes her presence known. We were introduced to Vakana the Last in the Anfang quest right at the end, but she was in the process of building her Dark Aether entity to allow her to bond bond with the Special Forces team to give the team her Dark Aether power. Her Dark Aether power is actually Healing Aura that we saw as a field upgrade in Cold War Zombies, and like I was saying earlier, she is the very reason we are even able to get to Egypt, since she managed to open up a portal on Stalingrad that we have taken through. She is lending her powers to the battle against Von List and Kortifex, a newcomer to our world. Vakana seeks revenge on Kortifex for wiping out her entire clan, as we learn within Anfang's quest, her entire sacred forest was burnt to the ground and all of her clanmates were murdered. So because she is the last of her kind, she wants revenge and joins Kraft's allies at a crucial moment in the war on the undead. Her elemental command of life energy through her artifact, the Wand of the Wilds, grants the player the Healing Aura ability that can be crucial in combat. As you can see, her wand looks very similar to the Origin staffs, but it appears to be made of tree roots and branches, and there is in fact a jellyfish which is powering it, and when you activate Healing Aura, you will see these jellyfish going around you. So I wonder if this is providing backstory for the Dark Aether jellyfish that we saw in Cold War Zombies, because we still don't really have an exact explanation on why they are there, but maybe these jellyfish are from her forest that was burnt to the ground and are responsible for the energy she uses, which allows her to heal other people. By default, activating her artifact will send beams of light down on all operators, instantly bringing them back to full health, but you can then upgrade it further with the Tomb of Rituals. So tier 2 allows you to knock down normal enemies and stun special enemies near each player. Tier 3 revives all downed allies. For tier 4, revived allies have their lost perks returned, and finally for tier 5, the life energy persists at each player's location for 10 seconds and continues to heal and revive players. So are these jellyfish known as life energy? And that explains what they are doing in Cold War Zombies. The next Dark Aether entity that we are introduced to is known as Zabella the Deceiver, which is a cunning and shifty trickster. Unlike Vakana the Last, this is not going to be a Dark Aether entity helping us, this is going to be a new enemy type. Those brave enough to survive in Anfang or Terra Maledicta for multiple rounds will come across Zabella the Deceiver, a powerful enforcer from the Dark Aether unleashed upon the world by Kortifex. For thousands of years, she served Kortifex as one of his sisters of agony, and her deep history with the existing Dark Aether entities means they all have scores to settle with her. A chaotic evil charlatan with a devious sense of humor, Zabella's true face hides behind 3 masks. These give her the strength to hover away from operators, striking beneath the surface with electrical eruptions at a moment's notice. Although she is resistant to many forms of attack, that which gives her energy could also be her greatest weakness. Like I just stated, this new enemy type is going to be both on Anfang and Terra Maledicta, so she is not just going to be present on the new map. I wonder how she has made her way to the regular world though, because previously we had learned that the Dark Aether entities are only able to come into our world via the artifacts. So I don't know how exactly Kortifex was just able to summon her into the world. It's probably going to make Anfang more difficult though. So she is actually the sister of Saraxis, who probably also used to be a sister of Agony, but probably no longer is. And that is why they have the exact same masks, but she will be able to hover above us, just like the disciples in Cold War Zombies. Next up, we are getting 2 new wonder weapons. Now we know that another wonder weapon called a cool gun has been found in the files of the game, so I'm not sure if that is something that's just cancelled or that's something we're going to see later on. Treyarch stated, through a bit of exploration, elite players, and perhaps some divine intervention, operators can wield 2 wonder weapons, energy-based arms with mysterious origins and Herculean effects in battle. The new wonder weapon that we're going to get is called a Decimator shield, and this looks just like the Apothecon Servant on Shadows of Evil. It looks very creepy, and it's actually alive. I can't wait to use it. In Anfang's mini quest, we learnt that this shield belongs to an unnamed male Dark Aether entity who was the commander of the Night Legions. This new wonder weapon offers superior protection and the mighty Decimation Blast ability. So not only will it shield you, but it will have this blast ability personality, which I'm guessing is this big eye in the middle of it. That'll probably send out a shock, decimating all nearby zombies. With a unique personality of its own, the Decimator is only too happy to help Craft's freedom fighters take down Von List's undead army. So, just like the Dark Aether artifacts, I think the shield will communicate to you and interact with you when you are using it, as it is actually alive and is a Dark Aether entity in of itself. I'll talk more in a little second on how you actually get this wonder weapon on Terra Maledicta, but the other wonder weapon is one that veterans will be familiar with. The classic ray gun is returning. The gold, or rather bright red, standard for wonder weapons since World of War, the ray gun fires circular enemy beams that can tear zombies apart in just one shot. It will be in the mystery box or as a lucky loot drop during a match, but this is the classic ray gun you've come to know. I think maybe if you pack a punch it to tier 3, the ray gun will have a gold camo on it. That's what they were inferring in the blog post a second ago. I wonder how powerful it is in this game though, because it was insanely overpowered in Cold War Zombies. Is it going to be the same in this game? And yeah, I'm guessing the ray gun will be both on Terra Maledicta as well as Anfang, whereas I'm guessing the Decimator shield is probably just on this new map. The next thing we're going to see in Vanguard Zombies is a 6th objective, which calls upon players to disrupt a gruesome Dark Aether blood magic ceremony. Grotesque structures known as siphon cores will suck the essence out of the surrounding undead. Once they feed, the siphon cores will spawn more zombies than they consumed, unleashing the horde upon the world. Prevent the zombies from filling all 3, and the Dark Aether ceremony will be thwarted. So all of the objectives on Terra Maledicta will be exactly the same as the ones we saw on Anfang, unfortunately. Of course, they will be in new locations though, but the objectives themselves will be the same, but there is another objective coming that I just went over. This objective will be both on Anfang and the new map. Terra Maledicta also prevents players with a special story quest that introduces Vakana the Last to the action and gives players access to the mighty Decimator shield. A series of special tasks and narrative revelations will advance the Dark Aether saga, as players search for a missing page from the Tomb of Rituals that may be the key to defeating Von List and Cortifex. And here is what I was talking about at the beginning of this video and why we were deceived a little bit. So with Season 1 Reloaded, we had a mini Easter egg quest on Anfang that we thought was the prologue for the main quest on Anfang. It turns out that little quest was actually the main quest for Anfang, I believe, and was just the prologue for Terra Maledicta, introducing us to Vakana the Last, and allowing the portal to open up that's going to take us to Egypt. It turns out the main quest coming in Season 2 is going to be for Terra Maledicta and not Anfang, and this quest is going to be interacting with Vakana the Last and will allow us to get the new Decimator shield wonder weapon, as well as we will be searching for this missing page from the Tomb of Rituals that will help us in defeating Cortifex. Because this quest is just going to allow us to get the shield wonder weapon, I don't think it's going to be a complex Easter egg or anything like that. I think it's going to be just like the mini quest that we saw on Anfang, where it's mostly dialogue focused, especially if it requires you to do the quest to get the new wonder weapon. I doubt it's going to be anything complex. So I'm guessing that's probably going to be how Easter eggs are in Vanguard Zombies. They're not really going to be Easter eggs, they're just going to be mini quests that are very storyline and dialogue driven, where not really much happens. So yeah, we were kind of tricked. The Anfang mini quest or prologue that I posted a guide for before is actually the main quest for that map, and now we're getting a main quest for Terra Maledicta that's probably going to be on the same caliber as that quest, where it's just a little quest to get the shield and nothing too crazy happens. We will just talk to Vakana the Last, learn about these missing pages, or potentially even get them themselves. I know fans are going to be very disappointed about that. We're probably not even going to get a boss fight in the Easter egg because it's not even an Easter egg. It's just, as I was saying, a little dialogue focused quest to give us storyline information, and that is all it is. Maybe in the final DLC we will have a boss fight against Cortifex, and then Cortifex afterwards will get consumed by Zykov in his efforts to eventually become the Forsaken. Other than that though, I don't think we're getting any main crazy quest like we saw in the past. In addition, side Easter eggs are returning in Vanguard Zombies. This time they are inspired by the classic Origins map from Black Ops 2, so you will be able to pick up a shovel and find loot hidden throughout the Eastern Desert, and dig even deeper to uncover all the secrets Terra Maledicta has to offer. I'm not really sure what they mean by this, so there's going to be a shovel and loot feature just like on Origins, so you're going to be able to dig around Egypt in the sand to uncover uncover, I'm guessing, things like power-ups, grenades, and different loot items, just like you could in Origins. And whilst you are digging, there's also some Easter eggs to uncover. It does suck that Vanguard Zombies has no side Easter eggs, literally at all. And I don't know what these side Easter eggs are going to be to do with the shovel. It doesn't sound like it's going to be anything complex. The final thing coming in Vanguard Zombies for Season 2 is a new ability in the Altar of Covenants, which is the Artifact Ward, for a chance to trigger your artifact for free when hit by a melee attack from the rear, which can come in clutch when your squad's in trouble during higher rounds. The artifact has 3 different rarities, but they all do exactly the same effect, but the higher the rarity, the higher the chance to trigger the artifact. We know that in the files of the game, apparently some new locations are coming to Anfang, but Treyarch haven't mentioned anything in their blog post about Season 2, so I'm not sure if this is just going to be an extra thing in Season 2 that they just didn't mention, or it's going to be coming sometime later on, maybe Season 2 Reloaded. Also, literally all of the Vanguard Zombies Season 2 content on the roadmap and in the blog is going to be there on release of Season 2. They haven't mentioned anything about stuff later on in the season, so there might be some surprises in the mid-season update, or there is just nothing planned. The last thing I want to say is that nowhere within Treyarch's blog for Season 2 have they mentioned anything about a pause feature coming to Vanguard Zombies online. Of course, you can pause offline, but if you are playing solo or in multiplayer matches whilst logged online, there is literally no pause feature. And because Treyarch have not mentioned it anywhere in the blog post, I'm guessing none is coming in Season 2 or even later in Season 2. They did announce before it was supposed to come in Season 1, then they said for some weird reason it's taken way longer than they expected, and apparently it's really complex for them to implement for some reason. I don't know why that is, but yeah, this sucks because right now we need proper, better servers for Vanguard Zombies because there's a bunch of jittering, lag, and packet bursting that occurs. Even on solo, because you are connected to the servers for some reason, because there is now the anti-cheat system, and because of Ricochet, I think that is the reason why Vanguard Zombies is not getting a pause feature yet. I think there's something to do with the anti-cheat system that is preventing them from implementing it, and that is why we are not getting it yet, and this is so disappointing, especially if you are a solo player. If you are trying to go for high rounds, it's impossible because you can never pause. Anyways, that's everything I wanted to go over today. Thank you for watching the video, and make sure to subscribe if you're not here for the latest and greatest Call of Duty news and information. So anyways, thank you for watching, and bye.